How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm with Jenn Playman, and my name is Tara Nolan. I'm a transformation business and life coach. I guide high achievers to find healing and purpose, as well as freedom in their life to ultimately achieve their higher potential, living with success in not only business, but all aspects of life. And Jenn is an amazing entrepreneur who's was with me for almost a year and a half. We did a 3-month program and a 1 year program that she's completed, and the yoga teacher training as well. So we've done some live events. We've done a lot of virtual training over the year and a half. Um, so yeah, a long relationship together. So Jenn, if you could share with everyone starting out, why did you even stay with me so long?
Well, uh, it was hard work, let me tell you. There were times where I didn't want to do it. I was like, this is really hard, digging deep, getting really down in there and getting to, I would say, the root of the issues going on, and going through the dark to get to the light is
Yeah.
is really kind of what I say, like my new mantra that I have, that and you often say, the darker the dark, the lighter the light. So I
Light always follows dark. That's the
yes,
good
I do
news.
believe that. And so I feel like I really have come full circle. Um, and I embraced it. I was, at first, like I said, it was really hard. I was going through some challenges in my life, just with personal relationships, in business. I felt, I was having a lot of communication problems, communication breakdowns with people in business. I own 2 hair salons I have owned since 2006. And, I feel like all these years, I could have used this coaching, way back then, and it really would have been beneficial, but it's never too late. So now, with all the coaching I have done with you, Tara, and my business is doing better than ever.
Really,
Even
even with
after, yep, even after COVID, it's doing better than ever. I own a salon suites type of business, and so I lease out private suites to stylists and estheticians and lash artists and nail technicians. And with the COVID situation, clients want that, more one-on-one experience, and so. With all the coaching and yoga teacher training and all this good stuff that I have to share, things are lining up. And I have, lined myself up with like-minded people. And that is one big thing that I would, really say that I took away from my experience with you, is that like attracts like. And so when you're at a place in your life, when when things aren't going well and they're not lining up, you kind of look at your circle and you look at what's going on around you and your mindset. And so that's something that I really learned how to shift with you, is my mindset. And I feel really strong. And, just it was a really, really, really good experience.
yeah.
Hard, but really good.
Well, when you start to shift your mindset and you learn to manage your mind, that's when you
Mm-hmm.
can really control your life, right? Because you learn to
Yeah,
be you actually learn to be in control of your emotions,
yeah.
and then you start to attract everything different in your life. But I want to kind of hone in on one key point that you brought up, that it brings hope for people right now. And I think in this world with all this uncertainty happening, we have an election coming up, we have winter coming up, which brings times of isolation, even more so now with COVID, and uncertainty with everyone with their finances and their careers. So for you to say, even after COVID, that your business is now doing better than ever. And I think it's also important to share that it wasn't like that. For a while,
No.
you were shut down and
Oh, yeah. We didn't
probably
even know if we were gonna,
fearful.
yeah, we didn't know if we were going to be able to reopen. I didn't know if I was going to be able to pay my landlords to reopen. Um, it was very scary. And so I really trusted, my higher being. And I took that time, to do a lot of things that you taught me in coaching, meditation, daily meditation. I've always done yoga for 20 years, but I was doing, hour to hour and a half practices of yoga every day. And the meditation, all the books and the podcasts that you share. I mean, the information and what you give to your clients is, I mean, it's just unbelievable because this stuff really, truly works. And I'm a tough nut to crack. So, if I say it works, I mean, I, I promise it works. I'm living proof.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for that part. But um, I think what's really powerful for people to know, to get in this point is that, yes, for you, it was yoga. For other people, it might not be.
Right.
And meditation is certainly a powerful resource, as well as, doing the work of maybe journaling, maybe just, the discussing, the coaching calls, going to those places that you might not always want to go to find healing, to shift the mindset. Like, you have to have that healing and clarity of mind in order to make the business decisions that you need going forward, to be able to make decisions from a place of stability and calm and like higher self. Not like, that's not possible, nothing's going to work, everything's doom and gloom. But when you really shift, that you get into moving into possibility and success, soul driven success is what I call it, like spirit forward, then you really change your actions and the outcome accordingly. And that shows up financially as well. That's one measure, right?
Absolutely.
As well as all throughout your
Absolutely.
life.
Yeah, really, really powerful stuff. Um, yeah, I,
So, so what was it when you first, so that, I think that's just really important for people with all the shifts going on in the world. But when you first came to coaching a year and a half almost ago, you weren't, um, COVID wasn't around then. And
right,
what was it that like made that shift for you to finally say, yes, I'm doing this?
yes. For me, I think I could find, you know, 30 to, ways to say no, to fix myself. Like I always felt like I could just do it myself, and finally I realized that I couldn't do it myself anymore, and that I had to be open, and that I wanted to be open to change. And the old ways were not working anymore. Something had to shift, something had to change. And, at the time, my behind the chair business has always been really strong, and I am very busy. But the other part of the business was struggling a little bit, and I think that a lot of that did come from things coming, in me that, like, I would be a people pleaser and being wishy-washy at times. And so through the coaching, or well, prior to even saying yes to the coaching, I just, things were just starting to become unmanageable. And, I didn't like who I was becoming. And so it did happen at the right time. And I was hesitant, but then I took that leap of faith. And it was like I said, it was really difficult, but I know that is exactly what I needed. I had done probably close to 2 years of well, it was about 18 months of just like going to a therapist, a regular therapist. And that was helpful. But I feel like the coaching really helped me so much more because it made me just dig really, really, really deep. And you helped, the answers are inside of you. And, I had the answers in me. We just had to get through all the, junk too.
Well, I think coaching kind of fast tracks it. Like
Yeah.
I'm always like, I just want to go right to it.
Yeah.
And using, I guess, my own intuition and kind of
Mm,
teaching and guiding others to really use theirs, whether it's
mm,
in business or in life decisions. And uh, when I'm having discussions with you or other clients, it's like, I just kind of feel it. Like, this
yeah.
is what it is. We need to get there and get it cleared out. And that's the healing process that occurs that really allows business and life success, like to rise higher, be who you're meant to be, live the life you really ultimately want to be living, not living in any suffering or anxiety or
Yeah.
emotional pain that unfortunately too much of our world deals with. Too
Right.
many people out there are feeling that.
And I think another big thing was, like you have said too, like living a life that other people want you to live. I felt like that's
Mhm.
what I was doing. I was living, like I said, saying yes if I meant no. And it just, after a while, it just does not work anymore. You're not living to your authentic self, to who you are. And I did that for as long as I could do. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah,
And
and then what happens to your own feelings in those moments, right?
right.
I mean, they're there. It's not that
Yeah.
they go away.
Yeah. And so now
Open the
I know
closet. Go ahead.
not, like it's not mean or rude to say no, to somebody about it's like,
Huh.
no, that doesn't sit well with me, or it doesn't feel good to me. I know that that's okay to say now. And it's really being kind, to be honest and to be direct and clear. And that is something that is, if anything, if I didn't gain anything else, and just that would have been worth just all
Well, how
for
did
all.
that shift things in your life, and where did it shift things? Was it business? Was it personal? Was it
Oh,
relationships?
yeah, it shifted in all areas, every realm, because I noticed it first, I would say, in my business, with clients and future, in my other tenants who rent from me, and then in my personal relationships, um, and my marriage with my kids, just things were starting to improve, and it just
Well, and with business, that's a big thing. You used the word earlier, wishy-washy, and I think I find that to be common with a lot of clients. So not even just to point you out solely for that. Um, Clear communication with employees, colleagues, partners makes a huge difference. And I
mhm,
don't think most people realize that they are not being clear and authentic. They
right,
think they are, but it's really when we dig down into it, it's really not what they
yeah,
ultimately want, need, desire. It's not working for them.
right,
And there's actually a financial implication to that.
yeah,
That's people like don't see or ignore. It makes a major difference.
right. And at the time, that probably caused me, to lose some people that, I might still have here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I know now, I learned, and I know, and um, I'm constantly learning. It's a work in progress, and I will continue to stay on this path. Like
That's
there
all.
is no going back.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just wanted to, for anyone watching, I kind of wanted to drive that home because I think it's such a strong point that others can learn from this and take away is that when you don't have those deep conversations, those conversations that you don't want to have, because you don't want to upset anything or hurt anything or not be the people pleaser, it actually leads to the demise of the relationship. And that's what you said, like, you're like, I think I would have still had these people in my life or in my business or worked with them.
Right.
Like at the time, you don't want to talk about the things that might be upsetting to someone, but then instead there's a dissolution of the partnership or relationship or friendship or whatever it is. It's like really that getting honest with yourself and with others.
Right. Right. And maybe, it's like, well, maybe I beat myself up too much, but I'm still really willing to look at my part in it now, through the coaching and just owning, those old behaviors and saying, this doesn't work for me anymore. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. And beating yourself up certainly doesn't serve anything.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
consciously like being aware and learning from your own actions and seeing how you want to show up, that's positive. But
Yes.
then just choosing again, like what you're doing, choosing a new way going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there so we can start to even wrap up, but is there was there anything that surprised, I have two more quick questions. Is there anything that surprised you in the coaching system? Like did anything different come up that you didn't expect or anything surprising?
I think, well, you touched on this a little bit a few minutes ago, but just funny enough, I thought at first when I agreed to this, I thought, how the heck are we going to do this on Zoom? Like, how are we going to have this connection? Because like when you do therapy or when you're, like for me, when I'm with my clients one-on-one, we connect, you can feel the energy. And I think, so I was pleasantly surprised and really very surprised at how during our coaching calls, how connected I did feel with you, and that it was almost more so. And that, there were I really felt like I could just really let go and just be myself and be really open. So if anyone has any apprehension on, doing it through Zoom or whatever, like I don't think that definitely it's a very positive experience. So not being, in person did not hinder this, our connection.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And one more thing, there were a lot of times when you and I weren't, like maybe it was a week we weren't talking, but you still would connect with me and say you were feeling something was going on, and it was like spot on. So I felt like we still were really connected even when we weren't connecting. Does that make sense? So
Well, it does to me because I was there. I know exactly
yeah.
what you mean. Like, yeah, I would just feel something and I'd be like, I just feel like I need to reach out right now. Something's up. And
So that was really awesome.
yeah, always having that. We always have that ongoing communication through the app that we use, Voxer, to be in connection and support and have that support at all times. I'm glad to know that's helpful. And I know it was powerful in our situation also. I felt it
Really
too.
powerful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Is there anyone you'd recommend this? Would you recommend the program? And if so, who would you recommend the program to?
I would highly recommend the program, and I would recommend it to anybody because, and I know that sounds very generic, but it could be for someone like myself who really was kind of spinning and, things had become unmanageable. Or it could be for someone who really is doing great too and wants to even take it to that next level. To me, this is something that I will continue, for the rest of my life. So, I mean, even if I take a break, I know I'm always going to need it. I'm always going to, have it be in my life. So I think it really is for anybody.
I guess anyone that wants to improve their life, right?
Yeah. Anyone who wants to improve their life, anyone who wants to bring, more abundance into their life, anybody who wants to stop that negative thinking, a big thing for me is thinking positively. And that is another thing. I mean, there's just so many things I took away from this experience, but another thing is, you have a choice to think positive or negative. And why not think positively? Because it's so much better as a whole, for everybody, for you and everyone in your life. And so it's.
And it's funny that we did a lot of straight up business coaching where we talked about business strategy and structure, but what really came through on this call, which I think is beautiful because that's obviously what impacted you, was really the mindset shifts and the ways of thinking and the healing. And I think that is what's underneath it all. Like, you can talk about and teach anything from marketing to funnels to strategy to pricing, and you and I went through a lot of that, even with your business and being totally different than coaching. We still go through all that, but it's really your mind that gets in the way of everything else, that inner villain. And real success is all aspects of life anyway. So it's who you become in the rise to greater success. It's who you become that's actually makes the impact that changes your life. So with that, I will say thank you so much for your time and energy and sharing from your heart and so much of yourself. And Jenn, it was my honor to share in your journey with you. So thank you for trusting me, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Tara.
Signing out, everyone.
Much love.
Thanks for watching. Yep, lots of love.
Mwah.